Fuel marketers exposes Tinubu secret deal. Yes, they said fuel price hasn't increased because federal government has quietly started paying for subsidy. Fuel marketers have said the federal government has quietly uh, refused market subsidizing the fuel price of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol. Hence, they should come out clean on its stand on fuel subsidy removal. According to them, it is only because of a quiet return of fuel subsidy that has not caused the cost of petrol to surge in the last few weeks, considering the rise in the depreciation of the naira against the United States dollar and the hike in crude oil prices on the international market. While marketers fear that the amount being quietly spent as subsidy on petrol by the federal government is gradually mounting high due to current crude oil prices, they have asked the government to come clean on it. On Sunday, Brent crude, the global benchmark for oil, rose to $94 per barrel, the highest since the start of 2023. This development and the depreciation of the naira, according to industry players, are key indicators that prices should have increased from their current price of 617 naira per liter. Oil has started the year at about $82 per barrel, dipped to 70 naira per barrel in June, but traded above 92 naira per barrel in the past week. On the other hand, the naira weakened to 915 naira per dollar on Thursday, indicating a further worse forex crisis. Although the federal government and its Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited had insisted that subsidy on petrol had ended. Following the deregulation of the downstream oil sector, operators insisted on Sunday that the government was implementing quasi-subsidy. They further explained that in July, when the cost of petrol was raised to 617 naira per liter, crude oil traded around 82 naira per barrel, while the exchange rate was not as high as 950 naira at the parallel market. Recall that President Bola Tinubu's special advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngalali, had told State House correspondents in August that his principal instructed that the cost of petrol should not be increased. He said Mr. President wishes to assure Nigerians following the announcement by the NNPC Limited that there will be no increase in the pump price of PMS anywhere in the country. We repeat, the president affirms that there will be no increase in the pump price of fuel. So the question is that how have they been doing it? Do they really have a authority to do that? Because they told us that it is the market forces. So it is not a Tinubu's problem. It is the market forces. But you are coming again in another breath to tell us that this will not be. Of course, you don't need a soothsayer to tell you what has been going on. Also, the NNPC had similarly said, NNPC, dear esteemed customers, we at NNPC Retail value your patronage and we do not have the intention to increase our PMS pump prices as widely speculated. Please buy the best quality product at the most affordable prices at our NNPC retail stations nationwide. John Kekeocha, National Secretary of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, however, asked the federal government to come out clean with respect to fuel subsidy instead of mandating oil marketers not to dispense the products above a stipulated band. He maintained that the decision of the government to put a cap on petrol prices meant that subsidy on petrol had been reinstated. The government is not being very transparent with this issue. When you say you have removed fuel subsidy, you don't come again and moderate prices. It's like speaking with two sides of the mouth. Removal of fuel subsidy means you have removed your hands and the prices have to follow demand and supply. So if the NNPC says it is getting forests to import products and reduce prices for marketers, are they going to do the same for other importers? Remember, the government gave import license to about 7 marketers. Are they still going to moderate prices for those people when they bring in the products? No, you don't blow hot and cold at the same time. There is no way they can bring in products and reduce the price and peg it for marketers to sell at a certain level. It means they are indirectly bringing back subsidy. If they want to bring back subsidy, let them say it openly, that we are going to come back to subsidy because of the pains the country generally is going through. This is because the initial things they are supposed to do, they did not do it. We have always been clamoring, let the refineries work, Kekiocha said. Also, the National Public Relations Officer of IPMAM, Chinedu Ukadike, said the federal government is running a quasi-deregulation which has both positive and negative sides. Are you surprised? Are you surprised? Believe Tinubu at your own peril. Thank God that God just disgraced them with this UAE matter. God just embarrassed them, disgraced them. And like Atiku said, that's big, just expect more fake news. Expect more fake news because they are not going to do nothing. It's just they are living on propaganda. Big time. Living on propaganda. Okay. He submitted that the IPMA official explained although that the rice crude oil will increase foreign exchange earnings, the forest was being used to import refined products. He submitted, so in this price deregulation regime, only the dollar increases automatically. It means that the cost of importing petroleum products will also increase and the cost of every other related service will rise. So the fuel we are buying today at a 617 naira or 596 naira depending on where you buy it and based on the nearness to depot is actually below what the price should be, going by the price in the dollar and crude oil price. I said earlier that what we are experiencing now is quasi deregulation. The rise in crude oil prices has both positive and negative effects on Nigeria. It is positive because it increases our generation of dollars when we sell the crude, but it is negative in the sense that we still use that dollar that we have got to import the finished products of crude. That is the problem. For if Nigeria is refining products, then there will be a windfall. But since we import with dollar, that will make then it makes sense. But don't forget to, because the Ngalale has said that even if all the refineries are working, that does not mean the price of fuel will come down. So I don't even understand why you people are talking about a Port Harcourt refinery, this and that. Meanwhile, speaking further about how the cost of the coal subsidy is gradually surging, Ukadike said the gap is becoming too much. Also, the exchange rate gap between the official and the parallel market is widening, and these gaps have to be filled by the government through quasi subsidy on petrol. You also know that most of the investors who tried to import products when it was announced that the subsidy on petroleum had been removed are now finding it very difficult to do so. This is because after buying the dollar in the parallel market, they cannot recoup what they have invested. So the government must be transparent with the subsidy removal thing. It should apply it to the fullest so that competition can set it. Well, we don't need to say much. The bottom line is that they are paying for the subsidy. For them to say it will not increase it again, because the dollar has been going up, because it's a function of the dollars and the fuel price. So you begin to ask yourself, so what happened?